Hello 7th graders and welcome to your Week 21 independent work. This week we'll work through a video about finding parts, finding wholes, and finding percents when given 2 out of the 3. I know that you're going to do a great job. Let's dive right in. Remember that we can solve percent problems using the percent proportion. Which of these is the percent proportion? The percent proportion tells us that the part over the whole is equal to the percent over 100. Whenever we need to solve a problem, we can fill in the missing pieces and solve the proportion. Let's get started. 80 7th graders voted in the Student Council election. 65% voted for Max. How many 7th graders voted for Max? Well, the first thing we need to do is figure out what's the part, what's the whole, and what's the percent, and which one are we solving for? What does 80 represent in this problem? 80 represents the whole because it's the total number of 7th graders. What does 65 represent in this problem? 65 is the percent. So I can set up my proportion by saying part over whole equals percent over 100, and I can fill in what I know. The part is what I'm solving for. I can leave it as a question mark. So the part over 80 equals 65 over 100. The easiest way to solve this is to cross multiply. So I can do 80 times 65 and 100 times question mark and set them equal to one another. So I can say 80 times 65 equals 100 times the part. What's 80 times 65? 80 times 65 is 5,200, and that would equal 100 times the part. Now, to solve this equation, I need to divide both sides by 100. What happens to the place value when I divide by 100? It decreases twice, so it looks like the decimal moves twice to the left. So what's 5,200 divided by 100? Well, if I move the decimal once, twice to the left, I get 52. So here, the part is 52. 52 7th graders voted for Max. Let's do another one. Gerald bought a sweater from the store. The original price of the sweater was $16 and it was on sale for 25% off. How much did Gerald save when buying the sweater? Go ahead and identify the part, whole, and percent in this problem. Here we are solving for the part, or the discount. The whole is 16 because that's the original total price of the sweater, and the percent is 25. How would I set up the percent proportion to solve this problem? I know that the part over the whole equals the percent over 100. So I could set up my proportion to say that question mark, or any variable, over 16 equals 25 over 100. Now I can cross multiply to solve. What is 16 times 25? Remember, I'm going to multiply 16 times 25 and question mark times 100. So what is 16 times 25? 16 times 25 is 400. Now I can divide by 100 to find the part. What is 400 divided by 100? 400 divided by 100 is 4. So Gerald saved $4 when buying the sweater. Now you try a couple. In these problems, we will be solving for the part when we know the percent and the whole. So what is 18% of 50? Go ahead and set up your percent proportion and find your final answer. 9 is 18% of 50. If you set up your proportion, the question mark, the part, over 50 equals 18 over 100, and you can solve to find that the answer is 9. Try another one. What is 24% of 75? The correct answer is 18. 18 is 24% of 75. Now let's see what happens when a different piece of our proportion is missing. Jason Tatum made 75% of the free throws he attempted on Sunday. He made 12 free throws. How many did he attempt? First, we need to identify the part, the whole, and the percent. What does 75 represent in this problem? 75 represents the percent. What does 12 represent in this problem? Here, 12 represents the part because it's only the free throws Jason Tatum made. The whole would be all of the free throws that he attempted. So here we're going to solve for the whole. How would I set up my percent proportion using these numbers? I can say that 12 over the whole would equal 75 out of 100. Now I can cross multiply to solve my proportion. So I would multiply 75 times question mark and 12 times 100. What is 12 times 100? It's 1,200. So I know that 75 times a number equals 1,200. I need to divide both sides by 75 to find the whole. What is 1,200 divided by 75? It is 16. So here the whole is 16. Jason Tatum attempted 16 free throws. Let's do another one. Peter bought a jacket on sale for $32. That was 80% of the original price. What was the original price? Again, we want to identify the part, the whole, and the percent first. Which correctly identifies the part, percent, and whole? Here, the part is $32. That's the sale price. The whole is unknown. The original total price of the jacket will be our whole, and the percent is 80. $32 is 80% of the original price. How would I set up the proportion to solve for the whole? I know that the part over the whole equals the percent over 100. So 32 over the whole equals 80 over 100. Now I can cross multiply. So I'll get 80 times the whole equals 32 times 100. What's 32 times 100? It's 3,200. So I know that 80 times a number equals 3,200. I can divide to solve this problem. What's 3,200 divided by 80? Go ahead and solve that now. The correct answer is 40. So the original price of the jacket was $40. Now you try two problems solving for the whole. 45 is 90% of what number? Set up your proportion and solve that problem now. The correct answer is 50. You can check your work with mine. Let's solve another one. 14 is 35% of what number? Go ahead and solve that problem now. The correct answer is 40. 14 is 35% of 40. We may also need to solve for the percent. Let's look at another example. There are 36 marbles in a bag. 27 of the marbles are red. What percent of the marbles are red? Well, in this problem, let's identify the part, the whole, and the percent. What does 36 represent in this problem? 36 is the whole. It's the total number of marbles. What does 27 represent in this problem? 27 is the part. It's the number of marbles that are red. We don't know the percent. How would I set up a proportion to solve for the percent? I can say that 27, the part, over 36, the whole, is equal to our percent, over 100. Now I can solve. So I can multiply 27 times 100 and say that's equal to 36 times our percent. What's 27 times 100? It's 2,700. And I know that that equals 36 times our percent. I can solve by dividing both sides by 36. What's 2,700 divided by 36? Go ahead and solve that now. The correct answer is 75. 27 is 75% of 36. 75% of the marbles are red. Let's solve another one. Frederick took a quiz and answered 34 out of 40 questions correctly. What percent of the questions did Frederick answer correctly? Start by identifying the part, the whole, and the percent. Which of these answer choices correctly identifies the part, the whole, and the percent? The part is 34. That's the number of questions Frederick answered correctly. The whole is 40. That's the total number of questions on the quiz. And the percent is unknown. That's what we're going to be solving for. How could I set up a proportion to solve for the percent? I know that the part over the whole equals the percent over 100. So in this case, 34 over 40 equals our percent over 100. Now I can cross multiply. Go ahead and cross multiply to solve. The percent is 85. 34 is 85% of 40. Frederick answered 85% of the questions correctly. Now try 2 on your own. What percent of 75 is 36? So here 75 is the whole and 36 is the part. Solve for the percent. The correct answer is 48%. Check your work with mine. Now try one more. What percent of 80 is 44? So here 80 is the whole and 44 is the part. Solve for the percent. The correct answer is 55%. Check your work with mine. You've done a great job on this video. Keep it up.